Welcome to Star Wars News with the Star Wars Daddy. I am your host, your newscaster, and your anchorman, the Star Wars Daddy. In today's newscast, we'll be looking at the upcoming Hakes Star Wars auctions, a Red Bar R2-D2 scam, Jean-Claude Van Damme appears in a Star Wars DVD special feature release, what it's like to date a collector, a look at upcoming Star Wars literature, and the usual Star Wars Daddy YouTube updates. If you enjoy this content and want to see more important Star Wars current events from me in the future, please consider watching until the end, hitting like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification to be notified of all the upcoming content that I will discuss at the end of this newscast. And please leave me a comment down below to let me know what outrageous news story was your favorite from today's episode. Our first story comes to us from round 2 of Hake's Jeff Jacob collection. Bidding begins on all of these amazing items on April 21st, with the auctions ending May 15th. In the first auction, we saw crazy prices as collectors clamored to get their hands on grails and make their claim of having a piece of Jeff's collection in their own collection. We saw a mint on card R2-D2 go for $38,500. A full run of graded collector's coins fetched $41,500, and then the infamous double telescoping mint on card graded Obi-Wan Kenobi sell for $105,000. In the upcoming auction, we are going to be seeing a figure that has been very popular here on my channel, the double telescoping Darth Vader. Now, as many of you know, I recently accidentally sold a double telescoping Darth Vader on eBay because I was churning and burning action figures and not paying close enough attention. I was able to salvage this figure into my collection as the winning buyer at $1,780 canceled the item soon after winning. So I know a thing or two about double telescoping Darth Vaders. The one at the auction, however, is mint on card and graded. Now, it won't fetch the same price as the double telescoping Obi-Wan Kenobi, since that figure is much more rare. But I bet you this guy sells for over $70,000. There will also be graded special figure 3-packs, graded mint on card Thundercat action figures, graded mint in sealed box 12-inch action figures, a mint on card graded Yak Face, a Lily Letty, there's the music, graded mint on card Jawa with the removable hood, graded Transformers, graded G.I. Joes, and much, much more. How many items will you be bidding on during this round of Jeff Jacobs' collection? I know I most likely won't be bidding on anything, as the last round, everything sold for well above market values and prices. I'm not sure it's worth paying a premium on Star Wars items just to say that another guy owned them and now they're in my collection. That kind of sounds creepy. I will admit that I do own pieces in my collection that were once owned and in the personal collections of Chris from 5 Idiots Talking Toys, items from the Morphe auctions, and in a surprising turn of events, even Star Wars items once owned and relished by the very own John Rula, the action figure grader. Nothing gets creepier than that. A recent eBay scam is circulating through bidders' search screens as they are all hunting for the elusive R2-D2 Red Bar variant. In all of my years of buying and selling, I think this variant has only passed through my collection a handful of times. I do have one graded in my collection that I found in a childhood collection I purchased off someone on eBay many years ago. That seller didn't include a picture of the front of the figure in the listing, so when I opened everything up, it was an absolute shock to the system when I saw what it was. But because of the rarity and high price tag for this item, scammers have been trying to dupe buyers left and right to make a quick buck on the unsuspecting victims. The most recent scam is similar to a currency scam. When I worked in banking for 25 plus years, we used to see a scam where a person would wash a $5 bill a few times to cause it to fade, then would carefully use pens and other devices to make the bill look like a $50 bill. Yes, it sounds implausible, but that stuff really happens, and the end result of the new bills actually didn't look far off from the real bill. This eBay listing hit the market a few weeks ago, showing a beater R5-D4 that was listed as a red bar variant. Now, I quickly clicked on it and clicked through the photos, and it appears as though the wash scam has now moved over to action figures. Yes, I do see the slightest pinkish color where the normal bar would be and where the red bar variant would be. This is obviously a scam and someone failing at performing the scam of washing the sticker. My guess is they washed the sticker one too many times and completely ruined the figure. Even if this was real, do you really want a wash sticker version that takes a magnifying glass to see the tiniest color variation one small part of the sticker? I'm not falling for that. But I did fall for another scam on a red bar R5-D4 a few months ago. I don't have the pictures from the listing of this item to help make this look better for me, but here is the picture from the recent purchase where I snagged a red bar R5-D4 from an electronic seller on eBay. That should have been my first red flag, for $300.69. In the pictures, there wasn't really a clear angle of the front. Everything was pictured at weird angles with shadows that made it hard to make out the red bar. Another red flag. So I took a chance. At $300.69, this would have been a steal of a price for the red bar R5-D4 in this condition. Upon arrival, I inspected the R5-D4 and found that the previous owner of this action figure had crudely applied red crayon and red magic marker to the small red bar box on the sticker. Yes, I guess it was a red bar variant, just one that looked like it was made by a 4-year-old. Luckily, I was able to file a free return with eBay and get my money back. Let this be a lesson for all of you collectors out there. Scams are real. They are prevalent. Do your best to ask questions, look at photos, request better photos, and examine all the red flags popping up all around you. If it's too good to be true, it usually is. Here is one last photo from a Star Wars Facebook group of a red bar variant for sale. If you look closely, there is soap suds on the feet, but the figure is still dirty. You can also see the red bar is a little darker than the long red bar next to it. Don't fall for these red flags, just respond that these aren't the droids you're looking for. Bad motivators.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
A recent Star Wars DVD release brought many new features and clips for all of us die-hard Star Wars fans, but one of the features has been getting raised eyebrows as of late. The feature is that of Jean-Claude Van Damme playing the role of R2-D2, as apparently he had auditioned for this role in The Empire Strikes Back due to Kenny Baker filing grievances with the production due to having carpal tunnel syndrome in both of his hands and was unable to open doors within the scenes of the film, which his character required him to do many times on Bespin as they were trying to save Han and escape from the Empire. The first scene we see is Chewbacca escaping with C-3PO on his back and Jean-Claude as R2 needing to open the door as stormtroopers continue to miss blaster shots.
We're not interested in the hyperdrive on the Millennium Falcon, it's fixed! Just open the door, you stupid lump! I never doubted you for a second. Wonderful!
Looks like Jean-Claude could have come in handy with his long limbs and super strength. The next clip is during the scene when Lando, Leia, and the crew are escaping Bespin in the Millennium Falcon, and the hyperdrive isn't working. Let's see how Jean-Claude saves the day with this scene.
Punch it!
Wow! I think Jean-Claude surprised everyone. Was it the sounds he makes before saving the Falcon, or that he was topless and greased up to get all those looks? Who knows? But let's look at the final scene for Jean-Claude, which was a surprise for sure, as apparently they also had him audition for a scene in Attack of the Clones Episode 2, as he had a scene with Ewan McGregor in the elevator. Let's take a closer look.
R2, do you copy?
R2, activate elevator.
311, step 4. Come in.
Stop! Stop, R2, we need to be going up.
Not down.
Now, that's better.
It's unfortunate that Jean-Claude made the same mistake that Kenny Baker made with causing the elevator to go down instead of up initially. Guess they realized that they didn't need to overpay an actor to play the part of R2, and I'm guessing that the cost of all the grease to keep his topless body oiled up was getting expensive. It was also causing slipping issues for all the other characters, as every scene had a hard floor material that became extremely slippery when wet. In our next story, a girlfriend of a vintage toy collector has reached the end of her patience and has found herself on Reddit searching for solutions and advice on how to stay in her relationship. She states, "I've been dating my significant other for 1 year. He collects action figures and loves it. I cannot wrap my head around it. I really want to, but it just doesn't make sense to me. He doesn't collect like I've seen on TV. He keeps them safe like new. He pulls them out and checks the joints, positions them, and then they sit on a shelf. I want to build a future with him, but he never seems to be satisfied with the action figures that he has. We worked out a deal that he gets 1 action figure every paycheck, but now that's not enough. He wants them on every occasion, anniversary, birthday, Christmas, and nothing else. Plus, he buys box sets when they come out. We were trying to compromise, but neither of us have gone through this. How does a non-collector and a collector survive? What do you and your significant other do to keep balance? I'm not asking him to give them up, but I want a future and a family with them, and I don't know where action figures fit into that life." Lots to unpack here. I love how the collector found that box set loophole and how she hints that he's never satisfied, which is probably the same for the relationship. And then how he only asks for action figures as gifts at major holidays. That's hilarious. Unfortunately, all of the responders of this Reddit post were all collectors and gave her horrible advice. Many of the responses told her to start dressing up as Princess Leia, Oola, Hera Syndulla from behind, and even Cara Dune got some surprise shout-outs. Others asked for her boyfriend's phone number in order to come see his collection and hang out. It was quite a mess. After doing some investigating here for the news, it appears as though many collectors, when choosing their action figures over the company of women, could possibly be suffering from a couple of ailments. One is called plushophilia, or the attraction to stuffed animals. Now, I know this situation has to do with action figures and not stuffed animals, but thought it was hilarious and I wanted to mention it. The other option is called agolmatophilia, which involves the attraction to action figures or other similar figurative objects. The attraction may include a desire for actual contact with the object, a fantasy of having encounters with an animate or inanimate instance of the preferred object, the act of watching encounters between such objects, or pleasure gained from thoughts of being transformed or transforming another into the preferred object. Depending on the object of their desire, agolmatophiles can exhibit pygmalionism, the love for an object of one's own creation, named after the myth of Pygmalion, where a man falls in love with a statue he made of his ideal woman. Yes, we're probably dealing with man-like action figures here, which creates many more questions that won't be answered on this newscast. I think we can also conclude that his girlfriend will most likely need to find a new companion, as her relationship is doomed. His collecting isn't going to get better or be compromised to make you happy. He will continue to find loopholes, continue to collect, and will even do it behind your back. I offer this woman my condolences and would advise her to stay away from plushophiles, aglematophiles, pygmalionisms, and any other names that end with files. Best advice I can give. A creepy new book cover gives us a glimpse beneath the helmet of Darth Vader. Lucasfilm art department legend Doug Chiang takes us inside his portfolio, and the world of the Acolyte has been revealed through stunning new cover art. Ahead of Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025, we have a special look at 7 new announcements, including cover reveals. Make sure to keep your S-foils locked in attack position right here, with even more exciting announcements from the Star Wars publishing panels during Star Wars Celebration Japan next week. The first book, let's delve into the dark side with Star Wars, Master of Evil. From comic runs to Star Wars Rebels, we've had a chance to see what Darth Vader was up to after the events of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. But just how dark is Vader's pre-Star Wars A New Hope journey? The newly announced Star Wars Master of Evil by Adam Christopher, who is the author of the best-selling Star Wars Shadow of the Sith, chronicles Vader's haunting pursuit for the power to conquer death. Take a look at the creepy cover reveal with art by Simon Goinard, and get your hands on this sinister story on November 11th, 2025, and I can tell you that I haven't read a book in forever. But this one looks interesting and I might actually read it. Number 2, experience the lasting impact of an incomparable visionary in Doug Chiang. The Cinematic Legacy and the Star Wars Legacy, this 2-volume, 800-page deluxe slipcased collection celebrates Academy Award-winning artist and designer Doug Chiang, Lucasfilm's Senior Vice President and Executive Design Director, and we have your first glimpse of the cover art. From the art department for Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, to production designer on The Mandalorian, Chiang's genius fingertips are all over the visual language of Star Wars, and this special collection, out December 2nd, 2025, celebrates the galaxy and beyond. Get into the Halloween spirit early this year with the number 3 book. With the reveal of Star Wars, I find your lack of candy disturbing. All treats and no tricks, we promise. This fun greeting card in a book features some of our favorite characters from a galaxy far, far away in all their ghoulish glory, including this fun new cover. Enjoy new exclusive artwork by artist Jeffrey Brown and heartwarming Halloween sentiments throughout. Available August 5th, 2025. For number 4, get your first look at the cover, The Art of Star Wars The Acolyte. No thanks. Number 5, dive into the details with a new glimpse inside the Acolyte visual guide. Nah. Number 6, dissect your favorite ships, weapons, and tech with the first look inside the updated edition of Star Wars, The Blueprints. The newest edition of Star Wars, The Blueprints, also by Pablo Hidalgo, pulls straight from the Lucasfilm archive, celebrating the artists and designers responsible for some of the most recognizable vehicles and technology ever put to screen. It's available in the UK on October 2nd, 2025, and then in the US, we'll wait 5 more days on October 7th, 2025 to pick up that book. Number 7, new spreads from Star Wars. Women of the Galaxy celebrate Andor's Bix Kalleen and Dedra Miro and more. A newly updated edition of Star Wars Women of the Galaxy celebrates new characters, including the Women of Andor, Omega from Star Wars, The Bad Batch, Peli Motto from Mandalorian, Avar Kriss from The High Republic, and Shin Hati of Ahsoka fame with dazzling artwork for each entry. Add it to your collection starting April 29th, 2025. Overall, this all was a pretty nice collection of literature coming our way in 2025, except for maybe those 2 that we skimmed over. And now finally an update for the Star Wars Daddy. Last week, we released 4 full-length videos and 4 shorts. 2,600 unique viewers tuned into the channel, where we picked up a staggering 187 new subscribers. We had 162 likes, 11 shares, and 30 comments. Make sure to check out this video where I went to a toy show up in Washington with YouTube Kids' very own Aiden Jam and went on a hunt for 90s toys as well as a couple of vintage pickups that I made. We came out with episode 70 of our weekly Star Wars eBay listing videos where we sold over $2,000 worth of vintage Kenner action figures, gave shoutouts to everyone that purchased, crowned a Daddy of the Week, which is the most prestigious award in all of collecting, which is the person that spent the most money with me, and even had a feature on the last 17 Power of the Force, R2-D2 with pop-up lightsaber, where we looked at COOs, accessories, and clips from movies. This Sunday, we're releasing a giant collection unboxing video where I had 6 childhood collections come in, and I prepped them for resale, and I have some pretty cool finds and surprises in this unboxing. This Wednesday will be episode 71 of our weekly Star Wars eBay listing videos where we have a blue snaggletooth for sale and another 60 plus items. Next Friday will be another installment of the news where we will be discussing the physical height of Luke Skywalker as it's now become a controversy and do a review on a new Star Wars at-home product, to name a few. Make sure to hit like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification to be notified the second that those episodes are released. Also, make sure to stick around after this newscast to see a commercial about memberships and all the perks we're giving away here on this channel. Memberships is the best way that I can personally thank you for all of your support, as I'm able to send you free things when you sign up. And last, after the end credits of this video, there's almost always bloopers and outtakes of me losing my mind and being an idiot. Just another way to get you to watch until the end. Collectors, remember to keep things classy and never forget, who is your daddy? Hey, it's me, Carl, a rebel soldier, and I'm back on Hoth again, searching for all those amazing perks that come with the Star Wars Daddy membership program here on YouTube, which I just signed up for. At least it's safe here now that the Empire has been destroyed. Wait, what's that? Ah! Oh no, the Wampa got me? The only way for me to get out of this situation is by using the Force. The Force that comes from the Star Wars Daddy membership perks, like member-only monthly giveaways. Free action figures and Star Wars Daddy stickers on your next eBay purchase. Free eBay shipping on all action figures and accessories in the middle and top tiers of memberships. And the Star Wars Daddy t-shirt I'm wearing after certain tenure. There are even more perks, but I don't have time to list them all off with this Wampa situation. I've got to use all these membership perks. I'm feeling the Force. I'm feeling the Force. Memberships! Memberships! Sheesh. Okay. A recent Jimmy Christmas. Was it the sounds he makes before saving the Falcon, or was Jimmy Christmas? This was a post on Reddit. Some chick was losing her mind. And then how she hints that he. Okay. I'm having trouble with this one. Smaller print is the problem. And the lights in my eyes do not help me read is the problem. It's like I'm blinded. I think it would have been better if it's a black background with a white print would have been better. That's the problem. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm not even doing that. I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't need to do the little thing. Okay, here we go. Now I know this isn't the situation. Now I know this situation has nothing to do. Having trouble today. Or inanimate. Man, this is going to be a trouble one. Instance Dude, I'm struggling. There's a reflection on the phone next to the words, and it's not you. There's nothing you can do to solve this. It's very, my eyes are having a lot of trouble looking in at it because I have reflections on the glasses, I have reflections there, and I got lights in my eyes. It's very difficult. Okay. Where am I? A creepy new book. It's Christmas. I'm struggling today. Jean-Claude Van Damme appears in a Star Wars DVD special. Jean-Claude Van Damme appears in a Star Wars DVD. Let's just start the whole thing over. Hit stop. I don't want to edit this out.